Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and enemies, welcome to LUCCI, where we break down the blueprint for strategy, wealth, and execution. So, fear. F-E-A-R. I've heard many people say that fear stands for false evidence appearing real, which may be true in lots of cases. But we're going to use a different acronym for fear, an F-E-A-R. And that stands for freeze, escape, avoid, repeat. F-E-A-R, fear, freeze, escape, avoid, repeat. That's the fear loop. So fear isn't always a single event. It's a loop. It's a cognitive loop. You imagine something bad happens, your body reacts, then your brain takes that as proof that the imagined threat is real. This loop hijacks your logic. And then it's not about danger, it's about anticipation of pain. And neuroscience backs this. Your amygdala, your brain's fear center, can override your prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for logic. According to popular research at New York University, fear memories can actually fire first before rational thinking even has an opportunity to kick in. So your brain reacts first and then thinks second. And that means if you're not careful and not intentional, you'll be stuck in fear loops that appear real but aren't. So where do these fear loops show up? I want to lay out a few places where these fear loops appear most obvious for most people. The first is public speaking. Studies show that 40% of Americans fear public speaking more than they fear death. Fear of judgment, embarrassment, and failure keeps most people quiet. The second place is money. Another study shows that 77% of Americans feel anxiety around their financial situation. Fear of poverty, not having it all, or losing it all keeps most people playing defense. And number 3 is relationships. According to Psychology Today, fear of rejection and being vulnerable ranks highest amongst all social fears. So we end up sabotaging intimacy for ego. So in every domain, whether that be money, communication, or relationships, fear, F-E-A-R, is actually a silent governor on your potential. So you're not just scared, you have a default mode. And when fear hits, you do one of two things. You either flight or you flame. When you're in flight mode, you avoid, you delay, you procrastinate, you ghost. You get in flame mode, you overreact, you lash out, and you burn bridges. Both are trauma responses and neither leads to strategy. To break the loop, you have to enter strategy mode. To enter strategy mode, we're going to follow the 4 letters CBRA. Okay, so to enter strategy mode, we're going to look at the letters CBRA, and each one stands for something. The first 2 letters is conscious breath. Conscious breath. That's where you take the time to think and slow the reaction. Slow your reaction. The R stands for reframe the threat. Ask yourself, is this fear useful? Is this even real? Or is this just loud noise in my head? And the A stands for action. And that is where you take one micro action. And that's just what small things can you do today to make progress and move forward towards overcoming that fear. That is where you begin to shift your energy into motion. And again, that's CBRA. Conscious breath, reframe, action. That's how you begin to break the fear loop. So fear, F-E-A-R, remember that's freeze, escape, avoid, repeat. That's a fear loop. Doesn't go away. But as you continue to make progress using CBRA, conscious breath, reframe, act, you will get stronger. This is about doing reps and resistance. That means despite the challenges, you continue to make progress and move forward. So what does that look like? Here are a few ideas. One is to deliver that message that you've been scared to deliver. Here's another idea. Ask for the sale. Start that podcast. Write that book. Have that uncomfortable but necessary conversation, or even walk into that room that makes you sweat. Harvard Health says that exposure therapy, which is gradual, intentional exposure to fears, one of the most effective long-term strategies in reducing fear-based behavior. So here's my challenge for you. I'm going to give you a rep goal. Once per week, you face one fear of yours and intentionally attack it and take action towards it. Death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss in life is what dies inside while you're still alive. You're likely not afraid of dying as much as you really are afraid of fully living and losing control. The fact is, safety is a myth. The reality is, your job isn't safe, your relationship isn't safe either. The only safety is safety in yourself and in your strength. And you can find that in breaking that fear loop. That's going to be where your safety is found. And other thinkers echo this same idea. Ralph Waldo Emerson, Seneca, they both echo these same thoughts. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Do the thing you fear most and death of fear is certain." Seneca says that we suffer more in imagination than we do in reality. So fear has been around for a long time. Fear is ancient, but courage is too. So don't forget that. Just like you have fear, you also can match that and overcome that with your courage. In closing, look, download the worksheet. Okay, download the Breaking the Fear Loop worksheet. Again, fear is freeze, escape, avoid, repeat. How do we break that loop? Download the worksheet, bring you through some steps on how to accomplish that, and again, become a higher performer. That's what this is all about. You'll identify your fear patterns, you'll diagnose your mode, whether it's flight or flame, you'll rewire your default with a new strategy mode, and then we'll also track those weekly fear reps so that we can build confidence and make progress. So until next time, remember, LUCCI is not just a podcast, it is a blueprint. So stay dangerous and stay strategic. Listen, that's it for now, but the work does not stop here. If this gave you something to think about, like, subscribe, and share it with somebody who's building. Follow LUCCI at LUCCI Systems on Instagram, YouTube, and wherever you're listening, so you don't miss the next move. Until next time, remember, execution is the name of the game.